Hello everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thank you for stopping by and I hope you come back for more. And if you keep coming back for more, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Today, many of you may guess, I will be doing another page in the Daphne's Diary Gluebook journal. The one I'm flipping through now is one that we've already completed. It took a little over a year, and there are all the tutorials for it in my playlist of Daphne's Diary. So a couple weeks ago, I started a new journal, which I'm really happy about, and we've already done a couple pages. So today I thought we would do some more. So I have already put down my background paper. Now this book, if you are new, has 5 signatures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I took 2 pieces of just craft paper and folded them in half so that each signature has 8 sides, basically 2, 4, 6, 8. So there's about 40 pages here. So I'm taking the center page of the first signature, and I've already put down some background paper. So I am going to be using images from number 5, 2024. The first image that I absolutely love, and of course had to use, was this violin page. So I'm going to, there is a little perforated line there. I wasn't sure if that bothered me or not, but I don't think it does because it acts just like a little bit of a grounding. So I'm going to just tack that down so that I have 2 side pockets. So I'm going to tack it down sort of in the middle, and I'm just trying to find where the middle is. It's the same on both sides. So I guess the middle's right about there. So I'm just going to tack that right in the center. And I think I'll use my score tape, because that score tape has a pretty good hold. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on either side and right in the middle of that. Oops. I don't think that matters that I pulled that up a bit. So I don't want too much of it stuck down. So I'm just going to do a little bit on either side of that fold. And then the thing with score tape is it has a really good bond. So that's why I want to put that in the center. And then I can just, because it's paper on paper, I can get that score tape up. I cut my fingernails and it's hard to get underneath things. My thumbnail is very short. I often use my pokey tool. Let's see here. There we go. And I'm just going to use some glue to glue down the outer edges. And if that shows there, I'll just put something over top of it, or color it or something, which I do sometimes. Okay, so we just want to get this glued down. A nice bead of glue there. I'm just using Elmer's glue. Right, so let's see if we can get this right in the corner and straight across. Okay. So now we have like a couple side pockets that we can put a few little things in. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, that glue dry. We're going to set that aside for now. And the first thing that I've already done is from the first page here, I've cut that out and I've made a tag. Okay, so I just cut out that panel. I wasn't really sure how big a tag I want it, but I need to cut this down a little bit. But that's the first thing. I just took some cardstock, made a little tag. Let's get rid of some of this. I'm not going to need this. And then I was looking through the magazine for other bits that I wanted to use. And I just had that piece of card that I stuck in there, and you guys are saying, it's behind you. But I had already cut a piece of cardstock, there it is, I think, that would go, there it is. Because I'm thinking that I would make a journal card from one of these images. So I've got out my little cutting board here, and I've looked on the back just to see if there's something I really want. I would like to keep this for future. So I've already looked, and I need to kind of crop that right on the inside a little bit, but that's fine. So I'm just going to put my cutting board down, probably this way, and flatten that out a bit. And then when I use my X-Acto knife to cut, I like to use a steel ruler, because invariably if I don't, then I cut. Excuse my head, I'm going to have to pull this a little bit closer. I usually cut the ruler. Just trying to get that so that it's flush there. So I'm just going to cut a little inside that line, trying to salvage those flowers on the other side. But if I cut the top off one, that's fine. And I'm trying to get a relatively straight line. Okay, so there's my top, my bottom cut, and then the top one it can go right to the top, doesn't matter if I can get it right to the top. And I just want it to be straight. It's another rainy morning here, but I like rainy mornings, so it doesn't bother me in the least. Okay, so we got one side free. So let's just get this other side. Okay, so we've got, and we managed to salvage those flowers, so I'm really happy about that. So I can get that down as a journal card, and I think and it goes, I wanted something that sort of kept the vibe of those violins. So I might come back to this because I might end up using some of that washi tape. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to keep a little piece of paper there. So then I've got, that was where the violins were. So then I have another piece here because I'm thinking I'll make another journal card using her face. I wasn't really sure. And I don't want to take both because on the back of Mona Lisa, I might want to use something from there. So let's just go ahead and we'll just cut her out because there's nothing really on that side. And I don't really need my ruler for this one because I'm just, once I get it on a piece of cardstock, then I can trim it up to how I want it. And then this will be a good little journal space. Now with this glue book, I don't actually use it as a journal, but it's nice to know. I just like to have places where you can write and whatnot. So with this one here, I'm just going to get, now with the Elmer's glue, it is a water-based glue, so I don't want to go crazy. This is a micro tip, so sometimes seems like it's getting a lot out, but it's not really. So just be careful if you're using a liquid glue. A glue stick would work well here. And then we'll just get our journal card down on top of there. And then I can trim it up after it's down. I'll just let that glue dry a little bit. So we have a journal card. I want to decorate this tag, and we have another card, another journal card, which I'm going to need some cardstock. I have a huge, great big thing of scrap cardstock, and I bet you I won't have a piece that I need for that size. Oh, here, wait, no. I don't know why sometimes, do you guys like just keep all these scraps and then wonder, why am I keeping all those scraps? Because whenever you go to use it, there's never one the right size. Anyways, I'm just using some Michaels cardstock. This is just the 65 GSM, or the 65 pound. Whichever it is, I think it's pound, 65 pound. Okay, so we'll just going to get that down. And then I'm just going to take my trimmer, press that down well. Let that dry a second. I'm going to go back to this one and just use my scissors to trim off the sides there. And then for the back of it, you can leave it blank. I often just do some hand doodles around the edge, like some faux stitching. I'm just thinking, I was going to think about rounding the corners on this one, but I don't think I will. I'm just going to leave it. So I'm just going to take maybe a 0.1 and then just do some faux stitching around. Chester, he's asleep here on the end of the craft table. There's a little barricade between me and him. And it's a organizer I got from IKEA. Kind of stands up in levels. And the reason I had to do that is because I would be working on a project and then he'd just get up and walk right through it. And now sometimes it would ruin my project and that pieces would be damaged or whatever. But I was more concerned if I wasn't in the room and I was doing something with paint or something, that he'd jump up on the table and he'd get into some paint and stuff. So now he knows where his end of the table is and he's right in front of the window. Okay, so there's our journal card. So then let's get I don't know why I always say our, but I like to think that you guys are here and that we're crafting together. Okay. I've got a family due later today. Right, so do I want to keep the edges? I kind of like how that is, because it looks kind of rustic and I don't know. So I'm going to keep it like that, but if that would bother you, then trim it up so that you're happy with it. And then I'm just going to take, for this one here, I'm just going to take my corner rounder. And you could take these out to the sewing machine. My sewing machine messed up on me here. It's probably a month ago now. And it's out on the kitchen table and I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to fix the bobbin. As the bobbin tension, I got to frig with it and oil it and stuff. And I just haven't taken the time. Okay, so we've got those two journal cards. So then on the back of this one and on this tag, well, with the tag, I've already found out where the center is, because I like my holes to be relatively center. And then I have these little reinforcers. Sometimes I make my own. I have a little punch. But the good thing about something like this, and I think I got those at Staples, is that you can make these any color you want. So these ones here, I've taken my vintage photo and I've blended onto it so that they're kind of brown. You could do whatever color you want it of ink and blending. But for this, I was thinking I just want it white, but maybe brown. Yeah, I'm thinking brown would look good. I thought white would kind of stand out on the background, but it's not really. So we got a little brown one, so that looks fine. And then, since I've been starting to do this, I have been keeping little DVD cases of offcuts and of little bits and bobs. Now, I haven't until recently started to write on things of which issue that things came from. So I can't, some of these I don't know. Like this washi tape was in one of the back issues, and I was thinking about using this to put just a little strip. I'm just going to tear it, and just to go along this edge. I want to pull it down though, and just decorate the back of this one a little bit. So it's just a little bit of washi tape there, and then we can just trim that around. There we go. So the Olympics is almost over, so I am filming this in advance. I'm trying to get August's video DVDs, videos out, because I'm going to be on vacation towards the end. So I just wanted to get some stuff out, because I know you guys like the Daphne's diary, and I love playing in it. And sometimes it takes a back burner when I start doing new projects. And I've got some journals, other journals I want to start working on too. So just want to make sure I get these out. So there's that. And then I was just kind of thinking about, I don't know, putting something else on the back. So let's look at some of these images. This is, I try to put them into either a theme. So all those ones that I just pulled out were like peaches. And then these ones are all just food related. And what would go with her? I think that bell might, because she's Dutch, I think. And this reminds me of that. But it doesn't really go with that. Oh, it's too bad I put that down, because I think it went with that. So let's look for some flowers. These are just offcuts I was thinking I would use maybe for collage, or maybe that's enough there. And then this is sort of like a floral, little offcuts. Could put that little vase there. Kind of like that. I'm often, because I try to use the magazine and not go into my stash as much as possible. Oh, I like that. So I am a bit limited in what options that I have. But in saying that, I find I like that. Because if I'm limited, then sometimes I'm more creative if I have just one thing to use and try to use. So for the back of this one, I'm thinking that instead of doing the faux stitching like on this one, that I would just do maybe just some dots, because I kind of like how that looks too. It just kind of frames your writing space a little bit and adds a little bit of character, I think. I love doodling. Sometimes if I'm tired, then it can either go two ways. It can go that I'm tired and I'm just mindlessly not thinking about it and creating a bunch of doodles, or I'm too tired, I just really can't even think to doodle. Okay, so we have that card is finished. Oh, that's sweet. And then I was just kind of thinking, maybe let's put something on the back of that one. And that's the right way up. So maybe that. I don't think so, but maybe this one. This is a bit vibrant though for the vibe, because that's kind of muted. But we may not have a lot of options with it. Oh, well, that's kind of cute. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's go with that. I just want to trim this up just a little bit more. Get rid of this little hanger on her here. Okay, so we cut out there. So I put that down. And that's where about we cut out, so I just happened to notice it. I do sometimes struggle with this. I use an iPad and it just randomly just cuts out. I just don't even know why. So I'm really liking that, how that looks. So we have a one journal card, which I think really goes with the vibe of it. And I didn't want the background to be busy, which is why I just chose just a subtle background. So we've got our two cards. So then I want to make this, I want to put this little tag, bookmark, maybe bookmark, or another just tall journal card, but I do need to take some off the bottom. So I'm thinking if we cut in here, the anticipation and the happy memories to look back on are just as important as the holiday itself. So if I cut off there, then that should fit in my pocket, my side tuck. And you can still kind of read along on the tag. So that's finished. If you wanted to decorate this more, we could try the washi, but I don't think the washi is going to be long enough. Oh yeah, it is. So this is one that I had. What's in this month's washi? Let's see if there's something that we like right here. I mean, we could do the black and white. We could just do this color. But I'm kind of thinking where there's fruit, I just think that this orange vibe would go really good. And again, I don't know which issue I got this one from. It's one of the older issues. But if you have older issues, then just have a look through for your washi. So I'm just going to start up in this corner. It's going to overlap a little bit. So it is Saturday, and Saturday is treat myself to a Tim Hortons decaf latte. I just love them. I don't know what I love about them, because I can make a latte at home and it's not the sugary one. There's no sugar. It's just an espresso coffee and decaf coffee and milk. But it may be because they use, oh look, I gotta cut that too, because that's overhanging. I only use skim milk, and I'm sure they use, I don't think they use full fat for the lattes, but I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah, let's cut this down too, I forgot. And I don't want to cut my journal card. Woof! I looked over there and I thought, did I cut my journal card? But it was safe. Okay, that's grand. Alright, so then put our little journal cards in there. And I do like that better. And again, you can put some washi tape down there if you want to. I think that's cute with the washi tape. Okay, so then the last thing is I'm just using my scraps to play with this tag. And I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to make it into a tag just to give it a different look. I think I will. You can just cut yours. I'm lazy. I've got this little 3-in-1 tag cutter. And I am just going to do the bottoms just a little bit. Just the smaller one. Okay, and then just find a few little bits to just add a little bit of color to it. Put some washi tape on it if you want. You could distress your edges. For this book here, I tend to go more for a clean look. Okay, and then we'll get that down on there, just a little bit of color. And what else do I have? I've got this, got that one. But that was an edging, and you can almost see it as an edging. But then again, it's just a tag. Does it really matter? You just layer stuff up. I want to keep that, though, making memories. Yeah, I kind of like that in a way. So we'll get that down. Well, lately, when my first couple magazines that I got, which were issues, well, issue 3 last year was the first magazine I ever had. So I'm really jealous of you guys who have lots of magazines. Oh my gosh, I'd be in heaven. But the first couple ones, I had 2 of them. And I would take one and really harvest it out a lot and just put it in little DVDs. Even some of the bigger images. So I don't know right off what magazine some of those older images come from. I try to look them up in that second magazine. But with these little pieces, I would never know. But I think that's kind of nice, just like that. You could also do some stamping if you wanted. Because I don't really see anything else that I feel would go and leave that. Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick look. I keep a bunch of scraps. I got all kinds of ribbon, but I keep a bunch of scraps. And here's a scrap. This one says Hydrangea Birdsong. Oh, that was my material that I had when I covered my garden story journal. So I'm just going to nip this a little bit because I just want to get that frayed a bit. Sometimes it's hard to start that fray off. There we go. And just get that in. That'll fray out probably a little bit more. Okay, so is that long enough to... I think what I'll do with this is just put it through. And then I'm just going to get a piece of string, which I'm sure there's string in here somewhere. And then I'm just going to tie it in a bow around the base. And it's got a cute little vibe there. Okay. And we'll get that bow done. And then I think this spread, oh, that's so cute, is finished. So we've got our little tag. We can do some journaling on the back. You could embellish this even more. You know, you could put another image on the back to journal around. Let's cut this out a little bit more. It's so balmy out today. It's coolish. I'd say it's not even 20 degrees Celsius, I wouldn't think. Didn't check. I usually check the temperature every morning. Actually, I check it often through the day. I got a little weather station out on my deck too. But it's gone on the fritz. And it's old. I've had it about 10 years, so. And it's one that really I just use it for the outdoor temperature. So I'm going to snug that up against the edge there. And I'm not going to really fussy cut it out. It is on a white background, so it's going to blend in fine. But it would just add a little bit of something else. So let's do it. Might as well use up our scraps. They're the best. Although my room is 50% scraps probably. All right. And you could do your faux stitching around the edge of that. Or if you had, I have some stamping, faux stitching stamp. So you could stamp it. I'm just not sure where my pen went. My desk is so small, I just really don't even know how I lose things. Because I put it back in where it's supposed to go. So this here, we could just do a little ziggly line. Just and a little dot in the corners. which is cute. What's the matter, Chester? Are you waking up? Yeah? Do you want to make a journal card? He talks to me all the time. Okay, so there we go. So we have our spread for today, which I think is really cute. We've got a little journal cards. We have a little tag, which you could use as a journal card, or you could use it as a tag. So yeah, so thanks for joining me today. Oops, it's getting caught on the back of that flower. And there we have it. So thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you come back for more. And until we meet again, I hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.